Hello and welcome to ABSART. Today we are looking at Mercedes A-Class 1.8 CDI with ridiculously small boot, which is absolutely giving me lots of pain. Hello and welcome to ABSART. Today we have a very special kind of test drive. We're giving car only for a couple of hours. So everything we'll be telling you today will be our first impression about the vehicle which we have today, which we'll present to you in a minute. So stay tuned and let's go!
The same story every time and every place.
Look like paradise.
The exterior is very modern and perfectly combines racing aggression with city's elegance, partially thanks to the exterior AMG package, which is only reinforcing the racing look of this small Merc. Sport bumpers with long skirts on the sides and small diffuser at the back are nicely supported by massive 18-inch multi-spoke rims, angry front LED lamps, chrome grille with huge Mercedes logo on, and altogether those are telling you this is one fast car right here. And you know what? The interior is continuously reminding you about racing genes of this hatch. Racing style seats with great quality leather are mixed with fantastic Alcantara and have absolutely astonishing red stitching throughout the seats. Carbon style inlays, however, aren't that great and in some places already showing their weaknesses. And the small screen in the center console isn't great either, primarily because of the fact that you cannot hide it away from your eyes when you don't need it. Apart from that, there is nothing to worry about. It's Mercedes, with great quality, which you would expect from an old German brand. The engine is diesel with a power output of 109 horsepower and can deliver that power to you from 3200 all the way up to 4600 RPM. Overall, there is nothing special outstanding about this engine, apart from the way it sounds. And it doesn't sound really like a 1.8 liters engine at all. Okay, now let's take it for a drive. Now we'll try this car in action, and we're beginning with a small suburb kind of area where we have tiny streets, meaning that we'll see how this car is dealing when it's coming to small and tiny narrow streets, I would say. And the first moment you notice that we have Eco Mode on as a separate button, meaning that we have start and stop system. We also have our gearbox and engine working in Eco Mode, meaning that the car is trying to keep the gears for as long as possible, avoiding unnecessary switching. However, there is a problem. In places where me personally I would prefer first gear, this car is keeping the second gear, and just the overall interaction between the engine and the gearbox is not as good as it has to be, and obviously not as good as we would expect from a Mercedes company. The tiny display which I have here in front of me is also slightly annoying because it feels like someone just put a random tablet and there is no way to put it away, unlike an Audi where you just press the button or you push on the screen and it goes down. Boom, no problem. No flashy screen in front of your eyes which will disturb you from driving. No, this one constantly stays here, like a reminder that you have this tablet. And from my point of view, it's just designers who in the last moment decided, look, we forgot about this tiny screen. No, let's put it in the center of the console without any options to put it away. So thank you very much for that. Absolutely useless thing. The dashboard itself, it's almost nighttime. It's very informative, very nice. It's not hurting your eyes. The transmission again. Come on, change the gear. It's absolutely rubbish. Steering wheel is nice. Air deflectors, nice. They are sending us to the old school design of Mercedes when we had those roundish air deflectors in almost any Mercedes model. Yeah, like I've mentioned before, steering wheel is great. This stitching on the leather here is fantastic. It's very comfortable to manipulate with. The seats are fantastic. the materials are outstanding. The plastic, however, here at the bottom is horrible. The carbon fiber in certain places is peeling off, and this car is only 1.5 years old. And that's something I'm trying to get through my head right now, is that the car cost 28,000 euros, 29,000 euros plus insurance. For those money, you're expecting this compact hatchback to be a premium, to have premium materials. But in this car, it seems like Mercedes decided to save money on certain things, and all those tiny things combined all together are giving you kind of spoiled image of the car overall. For example, how expensive would that be to cover this sort of carbon fiber with some protective layer? That would cost you nothing. How much would it cost to put a better plastic at the bottom? Not that much. And the last question is, how much would it cost you to rearrange the gearbox? Because right now, it's supposed to be going in first gear and it's going in second. And the car is suffering, the engine is suffering, everything is suffering. And the only way to avoid it is to go either in manual mode or simply to accelerate all the time. But that's absolutely destroying the whole idea of fuel efficiency. Like, why would I buy a car which can be fuel efficient if I have to rev the engine all the time? That doesn't make that much sense, does it? You see, and then we have to brake right now. The brakes are very good. I'm pretty sure they won't work as efficient as they do now after several sharp stops, but as for now, they're doing absolutely fine. The transmission, which is on the right hand side from your steering wheel, is definitely a thing to get used to. And then wipers and turning signals on the left, along with cruise control and limitator settings on the left, so might lead you to confusion, but eventually get used to it. And now we're going towards the twisty, almost mountain road, where we'll see how this car is dealing with cornering, how responsive the steering wheel is at high speed, and how powerful the engine is. We've turned off the eco mode, and I'm right now switching to sport mode. There's not that much of a difference, to be honest. The engine is producing strange noises, which we can perfectly hear inside, and I'm pretty sure with a premium vehicle that shouldn't be happening. So sound isolation is horrible, 0 out of 5. Gearbox is still really weird, because it's changing the gears where it's not necessary, or it's simply not changing gears at all. How does it work? I don't know. But as for now, we're going within the speed limits, obviously. I have to tell you, the responsiveness of this chassis is phenomenal. I mean, I perfectly know where my wheels are. I can perfectly predict the behavior of this vehicle in the corner. I know how to get this vehicle out of problematic situations because I perfectly feel it. And that's a great result there, Mercedes. So basically, take this automatic dual clutch 7G-tronic whatever gearbox out, replace it with a classic manual one, and boom! You have a fantastic vehicle here to drive. The steering wheel is getting tighter in the corners with obviously as you increase the speed. My seats are very supportive, they're not giving me any pain, unlike the boot which we've seen before. And now we'll try manual mode, which is supposed to be a bit more fun. And here's the fifth one. Fantastic. I think we have a 6-speed gearbox. Yeah, we have a 6-speed gearbox, dual clutch, with the shift paddles. It's very easy to change the gears. Very nice as well if you feel yourself as a driver of, if not Formula 1, then a tiny kart vehicle for sure. Brakes are working phenomenal under the pressure. And then, the moment you had enough of fun, you press button once again, and the car is becoming automatic. With very weird algorithm changing the gears. The suspension is quite stiff, but That's what's making this car so nimble, so easy and so pleasant to drive around. Yeah, right here it would be better to drive the first gear. Here we go, first gear. Now we're going back. And so far, I'm enjoying driving this car. I'm enjoying every single bit here, apart from plastic in the door panels, some weird carbon fiber here, and the gearbox. The gearbox is absolutely horrible. In fact, I'm doing better with manual mode. And the amount of noise is ridiculous. Probably this is also happening because of the sunroof which we have over here. The sunroof we have, and then overall they wanted to save a bit of weight, and that means that they obviously had to get rid of some stuff like sound isolation, because as we all know, great sound isolation can easily add a bit of weight to your vehicle, making it less fuel efficient, less responsive to acceleration, and therefore way slower. And this car, however, we cannot call it fast because it has only 1.8 liters diesel engine, which disposes only 109 ponies. I'll explain why I call them ponies, because this car looks faster than it actually is, and that's the biggest problem of this vehicle. 0 to 100 km per hour time is 11.6 seconds. 11.6. Why? How? Tiny hatchback, which doesn't weigh that much, has an acceleration time of a big family SUV, which has a 2.5 tons of weight. Ow. That's something really strange, so from now on, I will say 109 ponies. In fact, those ponies might be old, and they probably will die quite soon, because they don't do their work greatly. Partially thanks to this transmission, once again, 7G-tronic Mercedes. Phenomenal result over there. The worst transmission I've ever seen on vehicle. Now, change the second. It's not changing the gears. Oh, it does at the wrong moment. And then those poor ponies, they cannot work properly because of the gearbox. So, yeah, Mercedes, thank you very much. You've created perfect chassis, perfect steering control, perfect seats, great steering wheel, overall nice interior. And then you've managed to screw up completely with this gearbox. So, overall, what did Mercedes achieve with refreshing the A-Class? They've shown us that they're capable of doing very stylish and very unusual designs for their vehicle, as of the exterior as well as the interior. However, the engine itself, the sound isolation and the transmission are not that great as we would expect from Mercedes. At a price tag of 29,000 euros, it's obviously not the best choice. You can buy Audi A3 for the same amount of money, you can buy Volkswagen Golf for the same amount of money, and even cheaper you can buy Seat and Skoda. But those are different quality levels. So if you're looking for a stylish vehicle which would give you sometimes a bit of fun when you're driving, which will provide you with a famous German brand, and which will absolutely surprise you with the amount of technology it has, A-Class has to be your first choice. But if you're looking for more of a practical vehicle with definitely better and smoother transmission, and you don't really look for this German super famous brand, then definitely take a look at Audi A3, Skoda Octavia, Seat Leon, and possibly some Fiat models. But would I recommend this vehicle? Yes, but to a certain extent, probably with a different engine, with a different gearbox, and in a different color. Yeah, I would recommend that vehicle. Other than that, check out the market, decide for yourself what you want, but I can tell you for sure you won't be disappointed with this vehicle. Thank you very much for watching. Please press the like button and subscribe button, and stay tuned for more videos coming to you within the next few weeks. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.